Hello everyone! Welcome to the first part of Stay Out Till Late at Night challenge. Polyship challenge to be exact. And because this is slightly different challenge, we are switching things a little bit, hence why you see two Polyships in this part. As always, special thanks to my lovely patrons and all of you who still watch my videos. Don't forget to subscribe to keep up with the uploads, and let's get into it, shall we? Not sure how this works, but come online, I have an idea. Is it a challenge? Please say it's a challenge. I guess you could call it that. Ah, nice. I was wondering when another one will come around. You like to get pulled into this? Why not? The previous one I did was fun. If you say so. Alright, settle down. It's not necessarily a challenge per se. I just want to test something, and Shige's always says it's more fun to do stuff with others, so we will see. I mean, he's right. Fine, so I was thinking about trying my boyfriend's reaction to coming home late. Why? Just because. Wait, so the whole thing is to come home late? At night, that's the important part. Staying out late into the night if you want. And then act as if nothing happened. Ah, I see, that's the catch. What are we supposed to do instead of going home? I don't know, something. Just come home after dark and at least 2 hours after you are supposed to. Isn't that going to make them worried? Maybe. That's the point of this, to find out. I see. Okay, sounds good. Oh, it doesn't. But fine. Great. Go on then. The sooner you do it, the better. Normally, Tanaka wouldn't risk making his boyfriends worried for no reason. Reason 1, he loved them too much to worry them. And reason 2, getting lectured by Enoshita about responsibility wasn't on the list of his favorite things. However, that was also exactly the reason why he wanted to go ahead with this challenge. Yuji, he was quite sure, would forgive him fast and move on. Knowing Suguru, he was probably going to be relieved nothing happened. But Chikara, that was a reaction he was curious about. Would he be upset? Relieved? Or not bothered at all? Meh. That's probably the least probable option. He cares much more than he lets on. He couldn't help to shiver running through his body when, after finishing up with his last client, he asked his manager to leave him the keys to get some solo exercise done. And soon, he had the whole gym just for himself. Now this is peace if I've ever seen it. The space felt rather empty without the usual cacophony of supportive voices, tired huffs and puffs, and the constant clinking of weights and machines. However, the silence was freeing in a way, and Tanaka refused to waste even a second of it. Setting a timer on his phone, he put it into a silent mode to better ignore the possible calls and messages asking for his whereabouts, and jumped straight into his usual routine. More than an hour passed in a blink of an eye. His body ached in the best way he knew as he climbed down from the machine after the last set, the sweat chilling on his skin since it was long after the time the central heating system turned off every evening. Better take a shower before going home. Coming late is one thing, but bothering them with taking care of me because I got sick is not on the agenda. A quick check of his phone revealed several missed calls and a few messages he left unanswered for now, and instead grabbed his things and headed into the showers to wash off all the sweat and grime of the day from his skin. After all, he would have a lot to apologize for, and the best way he knew would work on all of his boyfriends were hugs. He couldn't possibly give smelly apology hugs, could he? His chest still constricted a little when, almost exactly 2 hours after finishing his shift, he carefully opened the door of their house, half expecting Enoshita to be standing in the hallway already. The hallway was empty in the end, but the light coming in from the living room, along with the 2 voices and sounds of TV playing, told him everyone was still very much awake. He braced himself for a lecture and then put on his best unbothered expression as he walked further into the house, finding Enoshita working on his laptop and Terushima watching some reality show based on the bowl of popcorn in front of him. Someone finally decided to show up. He didn't even look up from the screen, yet his tone was enough to send a shiver down Tanaka's back. I mean, yeah, I usually do that after work. Sure. Come on, Chica, don't torture him too much. He was just enjoying time without us. He hummed, his expression anything but unbothered or forgiving for the matter. Actually, you know what? Yeah, give him a smack for me too for leaving us 2 here all alone. Uh-oh. Enoshita finally turned to face him, his eyebrows raised in a silent challenge. Well, do you have anything to say for yourself? I can explain? I sure hope so. He then looked behind Tanaka's back as if he expected someone to appear there, and crossed his arms over his chest. I certainly hope you didn't bore Suguru to death when you dragged him around this light. Tanaka paused, a sudden bad feeling settling in his stomach. True, it was strange he couldn't see Daisho anywhere when he would usually be settled next to Terushima to share his love for dramatic shows, or sitting quietly opposite of Enoshita to keep him company. He couldn't be asleep either when the 2 weren't minding their volume at all. So what... What does that mean? It means that you shouldn't drag him around outside when it's dark. And without us too. Wait, hold up. He's not home yet? Tense silence suddenly settled in the room. Well, no. We thought you picked him up and you 2 went somewhere and just forgot to mention it. He wasn't with you? No, I was doing a challenge to stay out longer. I haven't seen him since morning. He could swear he felt all of their hearts collectively drop when the realization dawned on them. Dread sank his stomach like a cold rock when he imagined the stalker, or anyone for the matter, getting their hands on Suguru while they would have no idea and no way to help. It wasn't impossible. It already happened before, even if that one was just a random attack. It's not just that though. He can be injured somewhere, or lost, or... Did you try to call him? Of course we did. Just like we called you, but it goes straight into voicemail. The growing panic they all felt almost materialized in the air, suffocating and freezing. Tanaka would gladly kick himself for the horrible timing that might cost Suguru precious time they might not have, desperately trying to chase away the dark scenarios resurfacing in his mind. Okay, then let's go look for him. He has to be somewhere, right? If we go the same way he takes to the gymnasium, then... He got interrupted by a click of a lock. Without missing a beat, he ran back to the door, breathing the biggest sigh of relief when he spotted Daisho enter, safe and unharmed. Oh, hey. Sorry for the delay, He flinched and stuttered when Tanaka pulled him into a hug, soon joined by Enoshita and Terushima too. Oh, thank goodness. We were so worried. I'm sorry, really. But, could you please let go for a while? I can't breathe. They all let go in unison, guilt stinging in Tanaka's chest for going against Daisho's usual boundaries. Though he supposed he could apologize for it later. What happened? Where were you? Oh, it's actually kinda embarrassing. We had to move to a different gymnasium because ours has broken floors. It's on the other side of the city and I got lost on the way. I tried to get directions, but then my phone died too. So it took me way too long to get to a train station. He chuckled awkwardly, rubbing the back of his neck. I'm sorry for worrying you. Don't be. We're just glad you're safe. He gave Tanaka a pointed glance, promising to deal with his case later, which Tanaka gladly accepted. For now, he reached for Daisho's hand, instinctively squeezing tight as if to make sure he was really there and it wasn't some kind of a dream or illusion. Daisho gave him a soft smile in return and gently bumped their shoulders together, even leaning closer to hug his arm briefly like he did for the last few months. It's fine. He's fine. That's important. While Semi wasn't looking forward to facing Shirabu's grumpiness over not keeping up with their usual schedule, he welcomed any and all opportunities to sit in peace of their studio and work on the new songs without having to worry about anything going wrong. As much as he loved playing his guitar at home, just for himself or for his boyfriends, he couldn't focus there anymore. Even closing the door behind him made his anxiety spike, urging him to check every few minutes if he hadn't missed anything. It was by no one's fault but his own, of course, but it was starting to hinder his work a little. Hence why he welcomed the chance to stay longer that evening with opened arms. If only they heard you right now, they would think you don't want to be home with them. Truly, it was lucky his boyfriends didn't know about those occasional thoughts, especially Taichi. He would never explain it to him without hurting his already fragile feelings. What of it that it wasn't true? That he loved spending time with them just as much as he loved music. He just needed some time to himself, that was all. And you're stupid too. They would understand if you told them. But knowing that and acting on it were two completely different things. Especially now when he couldn't shake off the feeling that Shirabu was slowly crumbling under stress from work, and Taichi was once again feeling guilty for getting hurt. He glanced at his phone, noticing the first missed call since he was supposed to be home about an hour ago, but he couldn't bring himself to reach for it. Gyotani said 2 hours. I still have half an hour to go. And so he strummed the strings of his guitar, determined to use the remaining time to the fullest. Despite being quite happy with the progress he made on the new songs in just a little less than 2 hours, he couldn't stop the strange, heavy feeling in his chest that grew on strength every step he got closer to their flat. As if something was trying to warn him, or remind him of something, but he couldn't for the life of him figure out why or of what. And so he kept dismissing it the whole way, since it could just as well be his bad conscience silently scolding him for not responding to a single call, and surely worrying his boyfriends. Only one way to find out anyway. What welcomed him after opening the door was a strange mix of silence and tension, only interrupted by hushed voices saying something he couldn't understand. He put his guitar down as quietly as possible and subconsciously almost tiptoed into the living room, not so shockingly finding himself pierced by two razor-sharp gazes. Look who it is. Someone finally decided to grace us with his presence, it seems. Semi furrowed his brow, confused why they were whispering, until he looked over properly and spotted Taichi curled on the couch, asleep. Hey, sorry for the wait. He knew he shouldn't apologize because of the challenge rules, but the Eidegger's frown at him made that quite difficult. Shirabu huffed, his face telling a whole tale of being upset. I damn hope you are. Where the hell were you? And think well about the answer. What? I just needed to finish something in the studio, that's all. I know I should have called, but I genuinely forgot. Seems like that's a trend with you today, huh? Now, Semi was completely baffled. He expected some scolding and grumbling, maybe a lecture too, but this badly hidden snarkiness was weird. Even for Shirabu, ever the master of sass. What does that mean? I'm seriously sorry for not letting you know, but I really needed to finish that. Hayato shrugged, though Semi didn't miss the disbelief in his eyes. Good to know you are prioritizing songs over promises. What? Are you really that stupid? Semi flinched and instinctively took a step back when Shirabu got up and marched to him, stabbing his finger in his chest. Try to use that brain of yours for a while, okay? Didn't you promise something yesterday? Huh? Something that was supposed to happen this evening? He fell silent when Taichi let out a soft whimper and stirred a bit on the couch, guilt flushing over his face as Taichi looked around confused, eyes still cloudy with sleep. Hayato was by his side in a second, gently petting his hair and whispering something so quietly Semi didn't catch it. But even if he did, he wouldn't be able to comprehend for now. Because only now the realization of what Shirabu was hinting on hit him like a brick thrown right into his face. Oh shit. Finally remembered? Good. At least something, even if too late. Horrified by his lack of everything, Semi made a quick beeline to Taichi, his whole chest constricting upon seeing the look of crushed hope in his eyes. No wonder. He would also be crushed if either of them forgot about their date. You are home. Is everything alright? Still worried about me even when I just stood you up, huh? No. I'm so sorry I forgot. I was doing a challenge to stay out longer than usual and it completely slipped my mind. Shirabu huffed somewhere behind his back while Hayato just rolled his eyes as if he needed to feel worse about his fuck-up. The forced smile Taichi gave him made sure of that already. It's okay. We can go another time. It's not that big of a deal. It is a big deal. He hesitantly reached for Taichi's hand, giving it a gentle squeeze to hopefully support his words. I'm sorry, really. I want to go out with you. Let's plan something else. Anything you want. Still my treat. Okay. Just give me some time to think. You better squeeze every last yen out of him. He kissed Daisho's temple, making him relax almost instantly. A much more genuine smile curling his lips when Hayato caressed his cheek. Semi would give anything to join in, perhaps offer a hug or a kiss, but he would probably do more harm than good. And so he at least stayed close, glad to see Taichi smile despite everything, his mind already preoccupied by trying to think of the best ways to atone for the damage he caused. Thank you so much for watching, I hope you enjoyed. So again, since this challenge is constructed for not one by one reaction, but all of the Polyship reaction to the one person coming home late, it's going to be slightly different setup this time around. So this was 2 Polyships, then it's going to be 1, and then 2. The 1 is a secret because it's going to be quite interesting, I would say. If you have any requests or ideas, the request form is linked in the video description. See you next time!